All right, guys, guess what? Candy concentrates versus candies. What's the difference? Wait till we tell you.
Made in day, baby. Ooh-wee.
Now, on candy concentrates, we have right here our candy concentrates, and this is your traditional candy concentrate that you're gonna mix with Intercoat. Now we have a couple different other candies. Now we have another candy that's gonna come in a quart or in a pint can, and in these candies, I'll show you, what we did is we took all the science out of it. We ended up mixing the Intercoat with the candy concentrate already there for you. So all you have to do is open the can, pour it out, and mix it with your reducer 1-to-1. We took the science out of it because some people just don't feel comfortable with mixing. Now we have another candy that you hear, candy base coats. Now those are completely different from these two items. So the big difference between the candy base coats, like our Seductive, our Luscious, is that you can shoot them over black, white, silver, it doesn't matter. So our Seductive and Luscious give you the look of a candy, but you spray like a base coat. It takes the science out of everything. We make it very simple. And if you haven't seen what these colors look like, they're Seductive, our Luscious, they're phenomenal. So beautiful, so rich. They have dark undertones. They look great. Now we're gonna go into detail about how to properly mix our candies. So now we have two different options here. So here's your candy concentrate, and that's something you have to get a mixing cup. It's really important. Traditional candy concentrates are mixed 8-to-1-to-1, and this is the thing where you need a mixing cup. Look at the mixing cup right here, 8-to-1-to-1. So this is where you come and you grab our inner coat, and you're gonna bring the inner coat exactly to the 8. You see that 8 line? Now you have a couple different options. You can go to 3, 4, 5. So let's say hypothetically, we're gonna go and we're gonna take the inner coat right to the 4. Now this is when you get our candy concentrate, and you match it to the next row over. That's the next 4, and that's gonna give you 1 part mix ratio to 8. Now you have another 4, and then that's where you actually mix 8-to-1-to-1. But now you're not gonna use that last row. You're just gonna do the 8-to-1. And then once you have that 4, you come over here to the side, and what does it say? It says 6 ounces. Now that's your mix, that's your total volume after you mix 8-to-1. Now you're gonna go 1-to-1. So now you have 6 ounces of candy concentrate with Intercoat, and now what's 6 and another 6? That's gonna give you 12. And now you're gonna take this all the way, because now you want 1-to-1, 2 equal parts of the same product. And now that's gonna give you 12 ounces of ready to spray candy concentrate mixed into your Intercoat. Now remember, if for whatever reason you want to have the candy a little darker, you don't have to go 8-to-1. You can go the 8 parts Intercoat, and you can maybe go 2 parts to 8. You can always add a little bit more. Now remember, when you add a little bit more, the candy's gonna get darker faster. You don't have as much control of the colors. Now, we did a spray out of these colors, and you can notice on that spray out, we did a silver base, we did a gold base, and we did a graphite base. And they weren't in that order. We actually did gold, silver, and graphite. And the graphite, we mixed it with a little bit of adding a bis black to that mix ratio. And in that chart, you totally can see the range. All right, so that's how you mix our candy concentrates with Intercoat. Now, we have another candy, and that's our candy base coats. They're not a Seductive. These are actually, well, we already took all the science out of it. We already mixed the candy into the Intercoat, and we added a little bit of a base coat stabilizer. And then that comes in just in a pint can, comes in a quart can. You can even buy it in a gallon. And all you have to do on those, that's a 1-to-1. So here you can grab the mixing cup, and here you can see, and all you're doing is equal parts. So if you mix up 4 ounces, if you pour 4 ounces of the candy base coat into the cup, you're gonna add 4 ounces of reducer. If you do 8 ounces, you continue to multiply and you keep on adding. So if you do, let's say 10 ounces of candy, you're gonna add 10 ounces of reducer. If you mix a whole pint of candy, you're gonna add a whole pint of reducer, because it's a 1-to-1 equal parts. And then that's a candy base coat. It's technically a candy concentrate, but we made it a lot simple for people that don't want to figure out. And what they want is they want the same consistent color, because if you mix the candy concentrate inconsistently, let's say today you paint your car and you mix it one way, and the next day you add a little bit more by mistake and you don't even notice it, the shades are completely different. Versus when we make the candy into the batches, we're mixing 250 gallons at a time, so you know you have 250 gallons. So if you order a pint today and a quart tomorrow, or a couple months you order a gallon, it's the same color no matter what, because we made it in bigger batches, so it's consistent. Now that's one line of candy. Now we have another line that we call Seductive, Luscious. Now those are candy base coats, but they're a little different because the difference is these candies are already candies. We say candy base coats, but it's not a real candy base coat. It's a candy, but it dries like a base coat. Now we have Seductive, we have our Luscious, we have our Cosmic Series. Now those are completely different. Those you want to shoot over a black primer, a black sealer. We have an earlier video on YouTube just talking about this whole line. Same thing, this is a 1-to-1 mix ratio. Very simple. It takes all the science. The most important thing is that when you open up your can, you mix it very well. You want to grab your paint stick and you want to make sure you scrape all the way in the bottom of the can and get all the pigments out. And once you pour the paint out, then you want to most probably add a little bit of reducer to this. Put the lid, shake it up really good and get all the ingredients out of it, because you want to make sure that your color is consistent all the way through. If you just barely shake it or stir it and start pouring out the color, you're going to end up getting a lot more candy and you're going to be missing all the pigments that make it a candy base coat to give it that really dark, rich undertone. So this is where we're talking about candies and color grading, and I'm going to show you guys. This is all the same candy, and then here we have a couple different bases I'm going to show you. So this row right here all the way up is our 24 karat gold base coat. So this row right here is our Comet Silver, and now this graphite, this whole row of graphite is technically our Comet Silver, and all we did is grab a little bit of Abyss Black, added it, and gave us this nice graphite. Now this is what I want to show you guys. This is the same candy. Now here's the difference of all this. This is what we call a letdown. So we ended up doing one coat of candy, then we taped, and here's 2 coats, 3 coats, 4 coats, 5 coats, 6 coats, and 7 coats. This shows you exactly how the color exactly changes the more coats you give it. Now take into consideration, this is mixed 8-to-1 and then another 1-to-1. This is the traditional way to mixing candies, the way that we recommend it, so you can get all these values of shades out of your candy. Now if you ended up mixing it a little bit stronger, most probably in your 3rd or 4th coat your candy will look like this, and in your 7th coat your candy will look black. Because let's say you mix your candy really concentrated, the more candy you start spraying on your project, the darker it's going to get. It's going to get to a point that it actually looks completely black, and then under the light you'll see the orange glow to it, the orange undertone. But this is what you get when you mix it exactly how we recommend it, 8-to-1 and then 1-to-1, and you get all these shades. Now this is over gold, this is over silver, and this is over the graphite, and look at the difference in tone. Certain colors will look better with different tones. We could have done another one showing a blue base and it would have completely changed it. It might have looked great, might have looked not that great. We could have done a purple base. We could have done a orange base, and the orange base will give it a way richer color. So you have so many options with the candies. You can pretty much create anything and everything under the sun, but this shows you the different color shades depending how many coats you give it. Ground coat magic, and we're going to talk about our candies and different ground coats, how it affects the overall of your traditional candy. And this also plays a factor into our Seductive Series, our Luscious Series, but we have a whole separate video talking about this. But today we're talking about our candies and our candy concentrates. All right, so here's a great example. Here's Harvest Gold. Now Harvest Gold, I want you to guys pay attention. Here we have 3 different bases. Right here in the bottom row, that's our 24 karat gold. Right here in the middle, we have our Comet Silver. And now this one on top, this graphite color, it's a mix of our Comet Silver with a little bit of Abyss Black, and it gave us this really nice dark graphite. I wanted to show you guys, this right here is 1 coat, 2 coats, 3 coats, 4 coats, 5 coats, 6 coats, and 7 coats of Harvest Gold over each different ground coat. And look at the difference of these colors and how you get different shades. Now take into consideration, we only did 3. You can do, let's say hypothetically we would have done an orange base coat, you could have had a whole different look on this. We could have done a blue, purple. You're only held to your imagination. You have so many endless options when it comes to candies. Now I'm going to show you an example. Here is the same color. This is the same Harvest Gold over Comet Silver. Now what's really great about it is that it has a really gorgeous, I'm not sure if the camera's gonna catch it, but it has a gorgeous gold orange side tone to it, so it changes colors quite a bit. And then this is 4 coats, and these were 4 nice wet heavy coats. So here you can see, here we mixed on this panel, this is mixed exactly 8-to-1. So where are we here? So it depends how you mix your candies. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. We're right here. We're in that family right there. There's your 4 coats. If I would have kept on giving this any more coats, we would have been somewhere around here. So it all depends. If you want it to do this more darker or more concentrated than mixing it 8-to-1, you can actually do 8-to-2. 2 parts of candy concentrate to 8 parts of the inner coat, and that completely changes the whole look. If you guys haven't checked this out, you haven't seen our product, you gotta visit our website, www.tropicalglitz.net. If you love what we're talking about, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and hit that little notification button and let us know.
Maiden day, baby. Ooh-wee.